Hello friends, welcome back to the Red Moon Oracle. I'm Rhea and today I have a fun little video for us. Today I wanted to present or offer the top 5 questions I will ask tarot. I'll ask my tarot deck, other tarot decks, a brand new tarot deck. These are just my top 5 common questions I'll usually ask or ones I ask consistently. So they'll be the first kind of 2 are common questions, ones that you can kind of ask of any tarot deck or any given situation, and then they'll get a little bit more refined depending on the situation or what you're asking about. So question number 1. Question number 1 I usually ask my tarot deck or a tarot deck is just a good general question, and it is what do I need to know right now? What do I need to know? What's going on? Just it's a good catch-all question here. So question, what do I need to know, is good if you have a specific situation you're asking about. It is just good for just a general daily reading too. That's usually what I use it for. Is I'll grab whatever tarot deck I feel like interacting with that day. I have quite a few, or oracle deck. Oracle deck works too, and I'll just ask, what do I need to know, and see whatever card pops out. So it could be that's the theme for the day. It could be that it's thinking or like tying in with stuff I've been doing recently, like a bigger life lesson I'm learning in my life. So it's really focusing in on that. So this question is definitely refined by whatever tarot deck and or oracle deck you're using. So if I'm asking it of a specific oracle deck that has a specific theme behind it or is very specific in its descriptions, that'll refine the answer a little bit, of course. So that's question number 1. Question number 2 that I'll ask my tarot decks is very similar, but has a little more oomph to the question, a little bit more power behind it. And question number 2 that I'll ask my tarot deck is, what the fuck? Totally honest, it's a question that comes up or that I'll ask the tarot deck when I'm just really fed up about a situation or fed up about what's going on, or I don't know what's going on and I'm kind of getting irritated about it. So I will ask my tarot deck the question, what the fuck? And usually it'll give me an answer, which is really funny actually. So same like with question number 1 here, where it's like, okay, it's going to be important what deck you're asking from, because it's going to give you a little bit more refined answer. This is a good question to ask a tarot deck that's a little bit more brutal or like directly honest with you. You'll know if you're a reader and which tarot deck that might be. There's going to be decks more than others that are going to be a little bit more direct with you, a little bit more mean with you, and this is a really good question to ask those decks. For me, that'd be like my Santa Muerte deck. I know there's a deck my friend has that's like the Real AF Tarot or something like that. Decks like that are going to be a really good ones to ask for this question, because if you want an answer that is upfront like that, because you're asking a question that is very upfront, it'll give you the right answer for it. So that's question number 2. I'll ask my tarot deck, well, what the fuck? Question number 3 that I'll ask, and this is going to be a little bit more like a refined question, or one that I'm asking for a specific like an actual specific situation, one that I've been like pondering about, one that has lots of threads and connotations and multiple aspects to the situation, right? There's many different pieces to the situation, so I'm trying to refine it down a little bit. So I will ask the question, question number 3 that I'll ask my tarot decks is, what is this trying to teach me? What is the lesson here? What is this trying to teach me? So this is a good question to ask because everything in our life applies usually to some bigger lesson, right? There are some bigger lessons trying to teach us about love, what we fear, what we care about, a friendship, a relationship, family. There's some bigger archetype, some bigger theme, some bigger mythos, bigger energy. There's like these big lessons that we're usually learning throughout our life, right? And this question is usually very important when I'm asking a tarot deck to help kind of identify what that is, right? There's many caveats and nuances to a situation, right? So maybe I'm learning a lesson about trust, and it is trusting. You can be learning about how to trust yourself, how to trust others, how to trust the universe, many caveats, right? But if I'm looking at a situation and I'm able to identify the bigger picture by asking this question, that helps me out a lot. So this is a question I'll usually ask like the Soul's Journey cards. Those are really good ones because they're lesson cards. So they're talking about these big themes, these big lessons in our life. And so that one helps me refine down what this is about, right? So maybe I didn't know before it's a lesson about trust. It's a lesson about friendship. It's a lesson about death. It's a lesson about guilt. It's something like that. And this helps to identify that situation specifically, puts it in that category for me, and then I can actually look at it through this lens and identify, put like make sure all the pieces fit. It's like, okay, here's your puzzle. It's telling me what the puzzle is, so then I have a better, clearer idea of what the picture is that I'm actually trying to put together here. So that's a good question. I think this one is important depending on like the tarot decks or oracle decks you're using. So again, the Soul's Journey cards are a really good one. Soul's Journey lesson cards is a good one for this, and then like the Archetypes deck by Kim Krans is another really good one for this, for helping identify like an overall theme, an overall lesson here. Question number 4 that I'll ask, it is a good one for clarification. I'll use it in just general readings. I'll use it for myself, and the question is, what am I missing? I'll ask this for tarot decks. It's one I've heard other readers use as well, asking the tarot or oracle deck, what am I missing? What am I missing from the situation? What am I not getting? What am I not seeing? And that is really good for building awareness here. I think that's an important question to ask a tarot deck in for your situation, because there are definitely other things going on, right? That's we're working through our lessons and our journey, but there's other people that are doing the same thing, right? And how those pieces affect us changes and moves things and switches things. So there are pieces of said puzzle potentially, right, that you don't even know exist. And that might be one where it's like you have this whole puzzle that you've put together, right? There's all these pieces around, and you have this one piece missing right here that you just can't figure out what it is. You don't know, and you don't have any like clarity about it. And that's where this question specifically for asking a tarot or oracle deck is really important, and one I've used and why I ask it, because then it helps me. Sometimes it's like a aha moment, like a whoop, oh, got it. Yes, I vaguely knew that thing was happening in the background over here, but I didn't realize how important it was to the situation. Or it helps me build awareness where I like literally had no clue that was going on at all, and then I can start digging and learning and figuring out why that is actually the case, potentially in that situation. It's some little tidbit of information that I didn't know was missing from the puzzle usually. And that's why this question, question number 4, is a really big question that I like to ask in a tarot deck or an oracle deck for clarification on a specific situation. What am I missing here? And then last question I'll usually ask a tarot deck or an oracle deck, and sometimes this is a really good one for new decks as well when you're trying to get to know a deck, is just advice. Advice. And I'll just start shuffling the deck and see whatever pops out. And this is a question that can be used just in general. It can be used for a specific situation, a specific context, about like literally any kind of thing in your life, right? It's like, okay, give me advice on romance, give me advice on my family. What advice should I do to ask my job to give me a raise, right? Or how should I advice on asking my boss for this important question about this project, right? You could just advice and it'll usually give you what you need. And of course you can refine it down by the specific situation that you want, advice about blah, 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 advice about this thing. And tarot decks and oracle decks, that's question allows the universe and like guides and whatever you believe in to kind of help bring in the information that's needed for that situation. So again, it gives you some like interesting advice sometimes where it's like you weren't expecting that, or that wasn't something, it feels like something completely out of left field. But if you actually follow the advice that is given by the tarot oracle deck, then you find that can be really, really beneficial for yourself and whatever you're doing to just maybe help release stress that you have in your life, get a little bit more playful, have a little bit more fun, working on self-care, right? It's something that's completely like out of left field potentially that will help for that specific situation. Or it can be just general life advice where it's like, hey, maybe you need to drink a little bit more water, maybe you need to go be out in nature and take a hike, like go be out in nature, right? It can be very general, like big picture things, or it can be very minute, tiny details from this one question. So to recap, question number 1 is what do I need to know? Question number 2 is what the fuck? Question number 3 is what is this trying to teach me? Question number 4 is what am I missing? And question number 5 is advice. So those are the 5 questions I'll in general ask my tarot deck, or the questions I ask consistently throughout my readings, throughout my own personal journey as I'm working with tarot and oracle to help make my life just that little bit easier. These are the 5 questions I'll use in that process that just help give me a little bit more nuance to my answers, nuance to the energy that I'm receiving from a tarot oracle deck, and also allows space for the universe, guides, whatever entity you want to call it, whatever higher power you want to call it, to give me the information that I need at the time I need it. So hopefully this video was fun for you. Hopefully it helped you out a little bit. Feel free to leave any questions down below. I'd be happy to answer them, get back to you. If you have any video ideas or something you want me to talk about, feel free to leave that down there as well. But please subscribe and check out other videos on the channel. I got a lot of other videos here, so hopefully you enjoyed the video today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.